take it upon yourself to change your look at the cost of sometimes your dignity. Now, recently, uh, within a couple of years, that's recent enough, there has been a man, actually, who was doing butt injections to women in the ATL. And this dude looks like a woman. So I don't know if he's a trans. I don't think he's an all the way trans. I don't think he changed his sex. But what he did was he placated the female ego and he duped these women by making himself look like a woman. So he made you think that it was okay to get these injections because he himself had got injections. Now, the injections that he got, uh, I don't think they were, back alley injections. I don't think these injections were, high risk injections. Nonetheless, uh, he's run around with large derriere and you know, you know, fake breasts and all this, and and because he looks like this, he's welcomed into he's not a threat to females. He's not trying to, mate with them. However, he's the biggest threat that there is. He's a death threat. And use this to get better to look like me, even though I am a fake and a fraud. And you know that I'm a fake and a fraud. But if you want a body like this, so you can get more money in the club, so you can get JJ and Ron to, spend money on you because of the way you look, then you need to look like this. You know what I'm saying? If you don't look like this, then, no money for you. Not to mention, everybody else is doing it. Cardi B's doing it. Nicki Minaj did it. All the, all the famous, women out there who are in the spotlight. Kim Kardashian started the trend, and you should look like this. So, what did these females do? They said, if Kim Kardashian is making money off of her shape and marrying up all of these basketball and football stars, baseball stars, and she dated all three. She dated Reggie Bush. She dated who was a football star. She married a baseball star for a short time, and then I think she dated also a basketball player, actor, you name it, and then finally Kanye West was her second marriage. But nonetheless, Kim Kardashian set the trend for this, and it went, being that she is the most famous person on the planet. There is nobody more famous than Kim Kardashian. There are people who have more money, but there is nobody who is more famous than Kim Kardashian on the planet. She got paid $80 million just to have her image in a video game. You got to understand the impact of have, fooled a lot of people into a fake lifestyle that is highly, highly dangerous, and it literally will take you off the planet before your time. So basically, this man was, giving people injections, charging them an arm and a leg, and eventually there was some people who expired because of it. Once the police caught up to the imposter assailant, it was lights out for him, and I believe he is in a male's jail, but he looks like a she. So, If he looks like a she and is in the male's jail, then hell's bells. It's all bad. It is a bad deal. It's a bad deal for that dude. But I don't feel sorry for him because he knew what he was doing, and he got these women killed because they wanted to look like the skinny girl. What's up? Did I water the plant? No. You gonna water it? Your mom said what? Your mom said what again? Your mom said you're not allowed over here. Okay, well, I'm sorry, you're not allowed over here. Mom said he's not allowed over here to water the plant. So I will water the plant. Apple tree. Yeah. Anyways. So the skinny girl wants to look bodacious. And then there's the fat girl. The fat girl wants to lose weight by any means necessary. And some methods are what I would consider dangerous, and some methods are not. Now, from a medical standpoint, we know that getting a tummy, getting your tummy stapled or whatever, with the thing that Al Roker did, worked out for him. You know what I'm saying? There are other people who have done the same thing, a lot of women, and it worked out. Who's that one lawyer chick, black woman? It worked out, so they lost weight. You know, people got mad at Al Roker when he lost weight. They wanted him to stay fat. Did you know that? They were pissed because he lost weight. I'm gonna tell you something about that. I don't think that those people wanted Al Roker to stay fat because they wanted him to live in some type of misery. But the fat person, especially the fat black guy who is in the limelight, uh, has always been a jovial person, has always been the person you feel like uh, is one of you. And this is why they got upset because you got to understand a lot of people out there they're not in the best shape in the world. You know, sitting at home watching the news, they want to see somebody that they relate to. So this is one reason why they got mad at Al Roker. But I say, Al, if it makes you feel better and it makes you a physically uh, more positive person, then you lose that weight, brother, and don't worry about what everybody else is say. They'll get over it. But nonetheless, so the skinny girl has the skinny girl has going through those processes. And like I said, some of those processes are medically sound. You're doing what helps you stop eating, stops your cravings to some point. However, some of those cravings don't stop, and it can backfire on you. Now, I'm not a doctor, so I'm not speaking from a doctor's point. I am a person who has a health administration degree, so basically that is mostly statistics, and that's what I usually count. I usually count how many people have done this, and which I haven't. I haven't gone through and done all the But nonetheless, when I look at these stories, I think about these stories and I'm going, okay, this person got this and it worked for them. This person got this and it worked for them for 3 months. It worked for them for 6 months. You know what I'm saying? Uh, they wanted, uh, they got what they wanted. They lost weight, and then all of a sudden the weight came back. Why did the weight come back? So that's what I look at. Like I said, I'm not a doctor, so I don't know the whole procedure or anything and what goes into it. I only know the after effect when people put, the results on social media, just like anybody else. But I look at it in a statistical point of view. Is it worth doing? What is the cost? I don't know if it's worth it. I don't know what the cost is. But if you do it, you have to sustain it. It's just like when you run track and you run a sprint, it's 100 yards. If you start off as fast as you can and you hit top speed at 60 yards, well, guess what? You're going to start decelerating after 60 yards. Everybody else is still accelerating. So it's something that you have to maintain. Can you maintain that? Can you maintain eating broccoli, kale, or whatever? The most likely the answer is no. No, because most of that is up here. Most of it is up here. Now, I think that some of what I've been seeing women go through, I think that a lot of that attributes to, for one, there are people who are in high positions on TV and they tell you that something is okay and it's not. They tell you, oh girl, this is the era that we're in. We're in the oh girl era where women can't do no wrong. But you have other women telling you that something is okay and it's not. Eat what you want, do what you want, say what you want, sleep with whoever you want. No, there's a guideline for all that. It's called the Bible, but I'm not going to get into it. But nonetheless, for one, exercise is not a choice. You don't wake up every day and say, I'm just not going to get some type of exercise. That's not a choice because your body was not made for that. So that's the first mindset you got to be in. Exercise is not a choice. Exercise is a responsibility. You're responsible to burn calories. You're responsible to keep your body strong. That's your responsibility. It's not a choice. It's not. I'm just not gonna do nothing every day. I can see taking a week off. I could see maybe even taking 2 weeks off. But when you gotta understand, when you exercise for one day, that lasts for 3 days. After that, the results start peeling back. That's what happens. I used to be a long distance runner. I would go running, and I would run the mile. When I ran the mile, when I ran the mile, when I go out and I would run 2 miles, I would run 3 miles. I did that just so I could run the mile faster. But after 2 or 3 days, I could feel that I needed to go out and run 3 miles again in order to get my mile time to start coming down more. So it has a long lasting effect, whatever you do. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. Exercise is not a choice. Exercise is a responsibility, especially when you start getting older or especially when you start getting ailments. Like I got all kind of stuff wrong with me, but nonetheless, I still hit the gym once or twice a week and I exercise at home. I do push-ups, sit-ups, I do planks almost every day. I plank it out almost every day. I may do it once, but when I get up for and eat breakfast, I'm planking it out. I just do. Um, so you don't have to lift heavy weights and be all sport Billy and sport Lily, but it is your responsibility to keep your body in some type of shape. Um, yeah. So I just wanted to say that. So you have to have that mindset because you can go get all the surgery you want, but if you're still rotten on the inside, it's just not. It's all going to be cosmetic, and eventually it will catch up to you. It will. Your habits catch up to you, especially when you start getting up. You hit 40, 50, your habits catch up to you. They do, and that's it, and that's all. They just catch you, and then the real tell. Uh, you know, people can be like, "Oh, okay, you never really were an exercise person because your lungs are filled with all kind of garbage. Uh, you're sluggish, you're groggy, you're angry all the time. A lot of that is because you don't exercise. There's an endorphin rush that happens when you exercise, especially if you're a runner. This is why you have a lot of people who go out and running. You're just like, why are you running? Like one guy asked me when I was in the army, he's like, why are you running so much? And of course, I didn't know it at that time as much as I know it now, but a runner's high. I got high off of it. The endorphin rush would hit me, and once I stopped running and got my wind back and got into relax mode, I felt closer to God. I just did. It was just a feeling that I couldn't ignore, and I wanted more of it. So that was my high. I would just go out in the middle of the night, 10 o'clock at night, knowing I had to be at work at 7. I would go out and run in a rainstorm. I was addicted to it. I was addicted to running. So I would go out and I didn't listen. I was so nuts when I was younger. I was like 17 years old. I was younger. What I did was I went out and it was snowing, ice, all that. I used to run on all that. I didn't care if I could see the road, then I ran on it. And I went out and I took off. My first mile was just heavy. I didn't even warm up, but I was ignorant back then to the fact that I had runner's asthma. But being young, you're just like, I'm gonna be okay. I went out and I was flat out, and then my lungs started closing. My lungs started closing, and when they did, I was when I got home, I had an asthma attack, and I had to go to the hospital. And I had to recover actually in the hospital. Like I said, I'm 17 years old, but I learned from that. You know what I'm saying? I warmed up more. You know what I'm saying? I got my lungs into it more. I had to, you know, get myself right before I went out and did that because runner's asthma is no joke. Asthma's no joke. Once your oxygen starts cutting off, that's it. I even had a friend who lost her life because of asthma. You know what I'm saying? And she didn't exercise. She was actually my girlfriend at one time. And I tried to convince her to work out. And I was like, listen, because she was obese, obese. And I was like, listen, I'll walk with you, until you can get that weight down. And she was like, no. And, I broke up with her. And it broke her heart, broke my heart too, but I couldn't do it because I was like, what if we get older and we start having kids? How am I going to explain to them that, their mother is gone because she didn't want to exercise? Like, there was nothing wrong with her. She would bring up stuff like thyroid, and I'm just like, you don't have a thyroid problem. You're 19. I know you don't have a thyroid problem, or you would have told me. You just don't want to do it. So once I joined the service, I gave it long, hard thought, and I just called her and I said, I can't, I'm done. Especially after seeing all those athletic women who were doing what I do. That was it for me. And about 10 years later, she died. She had an asthma attack, heart attack, and then she died from it because she was really, really, really big. And it broke my heart again. Very pretty young lady, very nice person, but she wouldn't listen to me. And I loved her, I loved her family, and I wanted to marry her. We were engaged actually, but she didn't do what she was supposed to. You're responsible to take care of that body. Your body is a temple. You're responsible for that. So I want to say to some of these people who are struggling with uh, with their weight, it's not like I'm the weight guru, but if my knees weren't shot, I'd still be out here running a mile. And I'm gonna tell you something. I already know that I could once I get going and start practicing, I could still run a mile in under 6 minutes. But I would have to shed 40 pounds, but that would be nothing. I could do that in no time if I was able to run again, but I'm not. Back injury, car accident. But if I was able to run again, that would be that. Now, some people do have, problems. They have, problems like me. They have stuff that they were born with that, it just ain't going to work. I'm not trying to tell everybody to get out there and become this gym person. I'm trying to tell you to do what you can. That's what you should do. And intake, outgoing. If you're putting stuff in your body that don't belong there, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
Department D,
I'm sorry?
Department D.
Yeah, hold on. I'll go ahead and give you yours.
Hopefully you got some good news.
I only got one email for you.
Oh, okay. It is what it is.
Yep, I only email for you.
Okay.
So there you go.
I never seen you before.
No, I'm new.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You replace the other male lady?
No, I'm just filling in. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, that's what's up.
Yeah, 148 game, you use that.
Well, all the letters are pretty much, so it's probably these ones.
Oh, makes sense.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yeah. So anyway, so I'm not telling you to go out and be this sports person. I'm telling you to do what you can in moderation. Don't go out there and kill yourself. Don't do that. That's not what's up. But get yourself a program. Also, the food that you eat. Like when I see myself ingesting too much sugar, and everybody loves sugar, I gotta cut back on it. I'll tell you one. I like one of my vices is ginger ale. Like I love ginger, but ginger ale bloats you. You know what I'm saying? After a couple cans, I can just see my stomach, inflating like a tire. I'm like, ah, I got chills. So I haven't had any in a long time. So, so much of it, I got like a whole bag of cans. Like I was just ingesting that stuff, but I had to chill. So I stopped taking it, or I stopped drinking it. But like in moderation, every now and then, get yourself a can. You're cool. So a lot of people stop doing this and stop eating that. I'm like in moderation. For you people who like to eat red meat, a lot of red meat in moderation. For you people who like to eat Dunkin' Donuts, donut every now and then ain't gonna kill you. But you chowing down on Dunkins every day like you're some beat cop, and you wondering why you got water is not gonna kill you. Get yourself some bottled water. And the thing about water is, here's the thing. Here's the thing. Get yourself some water and put it in your face. You know what I'm saying? Get yourself some bottled water in bags or whatever. Don't hide it. You know, when you open the refrigerator, it should be your first choice. Boom, water. Boom. Because you're gonna have all the sugary stuff. Everybody wants that. Purple stuff, Sunny D. Everybody wants that. Get yourself some water. Get yourself used to it. Boom. Next thing you know, help you flush out whatever's in your system that don't belong. Planks help you strengthen your core because a lot of what you do, a lot of non-workouts that you do, you need your core to do it. Standing up, sitting up correctly, you need your core to do that. Planks start strengthening up your core. You really do. Your everyday, stuff you do at work, you need your core to do that. You start strengthening your core, and then your life is gonna get easier, and that's not a lie. There are some people out there who are visibly overweight, but they have a very strong core, and an example of that of those are football players or MMA fighters.
Yeah, they give me now. That's out of order. Here you go.
Okay, it's all
Yeah,
good. It's your
I
first
know.
day.
Actually, it's not my first
Oh,
day.
well, you're new. Yeah, take your time. Yeah. So football players are an example of that. They look like they got all this extra fat. All that is power. Their core is strong as heck. And you see that on the field when they pick somebody up and just toss them. You know, like you'll see a big old 6'4" quarterback that one of these defensive players or linemen to get to him, lights out. And these doggone quarterbacks are not weak, lights out. Because these linemen are super strong because their core is strong. So just start by doing some core workouts. You know, some of you ladies who are just doing it purely for cosmetic, be careful because vanity will kill you. Don't be so quick to want attention from whoever it is or Instagram. Instagram is a dangerous place. I mean, you go on Instagram and there's booty everywhere. It's just like you girls have there are no holds. I mean, they're naked. It is no holds bar on Instagram. Every girl is showing their goodies. They're all trying to get that attention. They're all trying to get their followers up. They're all trying to get whatever. And I don't know what contracts go through Instagram, but it is a mess. It's a mess on Instagram. Then you got some women to come out nicely dressed, looking right. You can tell that they got some curves. Those are the one I like seeing. The girls run around with a bikini and just a string here, and there. It's like we ain't seen this before. It's like, come on, give us a break. Have some dignity. So there's that. So be careful because vanity will derail you. It'll knock you right off the rails, and it'll, especially if you're trying to follow the Lord. You got to be careful. I can't run around with a shirt off every day in front of everyone, trying to show off some pectoralis majors. No, that Holy Ghost will start pulling on me. Put a shirt on. It is what it is. And I don't have a 6-pack anymore. I got like a 1-pack. I got a 1-pack. But nonetheless, still. So I just wanted to talk about that. Tell you young ladies to be careful. This world will lie to you. Don't let this world lie to you. Don't let this world convince you that being naked all the time is what you need to do to get some type of false life. Don't let them convince you that you need to turn up and act a fool and all this and get this pumped up and that pumped up. And that's all lies. That's all lies. There are ways of getting your body right by, working out. You want to be thicker in the hind end? Hey, we want you to be thicker in the hind end. We ain't complaining. But how you do it, the road that you take, trust me, it's going to have an effect on you when you get older. You putting caulking and whatever into your blood system. Listen, like I don't. When you inject your body with super glue, I mean, do you know what's in super glue? I have some super glue. I have, because that's what they're doing. They're putting glue. They're putting glue in their body. They're putting caulking inside of their body. And it will tell you that that stuff is not to be ingested. Do you know that stuff goes directly to your bloodstream? Directly. It don't pass go. It just boom. I just don't get how vanity can override sensibility. I don't know how stupidity can step in so much that you don't realize that this is highly, highly dangerous. Going to the strip club and getting paid, and I know life is hard, and some of you are doing it. Listen, some of you are educated in doing it. Some of you don't have no excuse. It's not like, oh, I came from a background or this happened to me when I was a kid. Some of you ain't have none of that happen to you when you was a kid. Some of you do not come from a harsh background. There's no man that did something to you when you were, younger. None of that happened. Some of you have no excuse. You have education. You have mom and dad who love you at home. But you know why you did it? Vanity. You did it for vanity. There's a school teacher, and this school teacher said, she was a school teacher. You have a degree. this school teacher did was she started shaking her rump on high temperature. Oh, okay. What this school teacher did is she started shaking her derriere on YouTube. And when she did that, I'm gonna have to turn this off soon. And when she did that, she got more views and all this. She quit her job. She's like, I make more money going around shaking my behind than I make as a school teacher. Yeah, but you don't have no dignity now. It's your boy 222. God loves you, so do I.